welcome to my channel. My name is Sylvia and today we're going to make a birthday card for a child. Now, we all know that, kids' birthdays, there's always tons of them, especially if you've got kids, they're invited to this party and that party and the other. And sometimes we kind of run out of ideas. And I thought I'd show you. I've sort of played around with it a little bit. And this is sort of the design that we're going to make. So the things that you're going to need is your cardstock. Now this one's quite large, obviously. It measures 143 millimeters across or wide, 160 millimeters in height. Then what you're going to need is some pretty paper. I decided to use some stars with a blue background because I figured this one can be for a boy. And this one measures 130 millimeters across and 146 millimeters in height. Then what you're going to need is another piece of cardstock, and this is the one that we're going to be inking on. And this one measures 110 millimeters wide and 125 millimeters in height. The other things that we're going to need is some waterproof ink, your stamps. You also want to have some masks for certain one of them. You want some watercolors, a bucket of water. We might use a little sponge. This is like a sea sponge. You need a serviette, tissue or paper towel, whatever you've got, and some paintbrushes. So to start off with, what we want to do, and you need a bit of fun foam to have underneath it so that when you're stamping on it, it puts a nice print on. So I've got the little banner that says happy with the two birdies on it. So I'm going to ink that one up first. So we'll just quickly ink this up, like so. And then we'll put this down right about there. And we'll apply a little bit of pressure, no wiggling, just apply a little bit of pressure, like so. And lift it up, and there we've got our little birdie. And having some baby wipes comes in very handy to quickly give your stamp and your stamp block a bit of a wipe, keep it nice and clean. So next I'm going to do the little water fountain. I don't know if I should call it little, it's actually quite big really when you think about it. And we're going to move this card up a bit and we'll just stamp that. And we'll put that one right about there. I'm actually doing it slightly different. Hopefully it'll still work. Of course it will. Don't doubt yourself, girl. There we go. I should have actually put it up a little bit higher, but that's okay. We'll get around it. So let's not stress. Who's stressed? I'm not stressed. And now I'm going to do the birdie that's holding a couple of balloons. Inky it up. Inky, inky, inky. I might just remove some of that excess ink. And we'll put that one right about there. Press down. Lift up. Clean your stamp. It's actually a good habit to get into. Nothing worse than having dried up ink on there. I mean, stamps still get, end up staining, but at least you know they're clean. And now I'm going to grab the little birdie with the party hat. Ink birdie up. Get rid of the excess. And birdie with the party hat can go right about there. Like so. We'll clean that all up. Now, let me see. Will it fit? Of course it will. We can put it over to one side, like so. That's all right. See, as I say, we work around things. Because I figure I might as well just stamp that down straight away before we mask everything up. Okay. No. Hang on, I'm going to stand up, see if I can see better from that way. No, not really. Because the light's going to be in the way. What the heck, we'll just put it down. We can do this. Press down. And lift up. And look at that. And I even put it on crooked. Never mind. That's okay. Got it on there. Phew. Okay. Now what I've done is, with some post-it notes, I actually stamped the image onto a post-it note and made sure the balloons was on the sticky bit. So all we need to do, stick that over the top like so, and we'll put this one over the top as well of our little water fountain. And then I'm going to grab my fence. Stick that on. Ink it up. And I should have lifted it. Hopefully I didn't shake you guys. Okay, now I'm going to move these brushes out of the way. Okay, so what we're going to do is put this in the center like so. Give it a press down and lift it up. Now what we want to do is, hang on, just let me give this a wipe. It's like you've got a couple of little boards that go across that are sticking out. You want to line those ones up with the ones that are here. Now what I might actually do is zoom in a little bit. So just give me a second. Hang on, where's my little zoom button? There we go, and we'll bring that into like that. That's a bit better, isn't it, guys? Alright, so what we want to do is say, try and line it up the best you can. Now, I'm doing it from the side instead of the top, just so that I don't really get my head in the way. And we'll just press it down and lift up. So as you can see, it actually joined up together there. So it looks like it's supposed to be that way. And that's what we wanted. And now we're going to do the same on this side. Hang on. And hopefully I can aim it just as good as I did before. There we go. Well, pretty close. And now I'm going to do a little bit more on this side, just so that it looks like, you know, it's a great big backyard. Because, yeah, I also thought, I've got to have a bit of scenery on the card, so that's what we're creating here. There we go. And we've got that one down. Alright. So after having done all that, and the fact that we've cleaned up our stamp, what we're going to do, so I'm going to remove that, and we can now remove our little masks. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this olive green watercolor pencil. Now, the watercolor pencils that I'm using, they're the Derwent ones, the Academy ones, but you can use any sort of watercolor pencils that you've got. You know, you don't have to have what I've got. So just basically sort of get a nice sort of dark olivey colour green. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create like a hill, like there's hills in the background. So what I'm going to do is just draw them in. Now, because we've got the banner here, we've got to make sure that we stop and then continue on the other side, like so. I might make another little one there. There we go. And I want to make sure we ground this. Same with the birdies. Like that. There we go. So basically we're now starting to have a bit of an image. Now I'm going to keep this one out because we'll probably end up using it again. And the next colour that I want to use is some sky blue. What I'm going to do is, basically with the blue, we're just going to colour it in like this. And, you know, make sure it's our entire sky. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll quickly do this offline, or off camera, and I'll come back once I've done that. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm actually going to go in with this medium blue, but I'm only going to do sort of more on at the top where it would be a lot darker. And we're just going to put a little bit in. And don't go pressing too hard when you're doing this. You know, just very lightly, just go over the top. Because the one thing we don't want to do is sort of fill up the tooth in the cardstock too quickly, because if we do that, then we end up having trouble putting more colour down, because the paper then will no longer accept any more colour. So there we go. Might make it a little bit, maybe I'll grab the cobalt blue and just sort of put some right up the top here in the edges, like around the edges. Just sort of add some in, and then sort of start fading away with it. So basically you've got most of it right up the top, and then you just very lightly add a little bit further down. That way when we add water to it in a bit, it blends in nicely. There we go. That will do. Add a little bit more here. There. Okay. So now we've got to think about those little hillsides that we've got there. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to grab this clay yellow, which is basically your yellow ochre, and very lightly I'm going to add that. Like so. So what I'm going to do is I'll do this off camera again, because what you also need to do is where all these wood slates are, in between you've got to like very lightly add the colour as well. So this will take me a little bit of time, hence why I figure it's going to be easier if I just quickly do it off camera. That way I'm not taking up your time, and let's face it, my videos are generally not short anyway, so I'm doing you guys a favour. So back in a second. Okay, so now we're going to go back in with the olive green, but what I'm going to do is sort of put sort of like a shadow just there, and then I'm going to go in with a colour called grass. Okay, and we're just going to put that over the top for the back one. Like so. Might go in with a little bit more of the clay yellow, just sort of here and there. And we'll do the same with this one. And what we're going to do is just add a few patches here and there with the olive green. There we go. So now I'm going to I'll grab the light green, because what we want to do is we want to create a different green in here. There we go. So we've got that down. Next I will grab my acid green. So, look at that, it's coming together just nicely. We might start off with the little banner. I might use a sky blue and an orange yellow. Okay? And what I'm going to do is, I won't do that one there because it's in the blue area. But I'll colour this one here in. I will actually use that same colour, the orange yellow, and a medium yellow as well. So what we're going to do is colour in these balloons. We've got those done. Now, I'm going to use some of the lemon yellow and colour in our birdies with it. Now with this one, I've only gone sort of like just under the beak because we're going to blend it in with another colour after. And you know what? I reckon I might use a vermilion on these ones. Make them a different colour. What I'm actually going to do is, with these ones down here, I'm going to put this colour into their belly. And we'll grab an orange and we'll colour the beak in with that. And with the top ones, I'm going to put the lemon yellow. And I just realised I forgot the tail feathers on this one. Whoopsie. There we have it. And I'm going to put some of the orange into this party hat. And I'll use the yellow ochre on these little streamers on the hat. There we go. Now, the water fountain. That's going to be an interesting one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this grey . And now I'm going to go in with the medium yellow. I'm going to put so I've got that done. And next I'm going to grab my reddish brown, which is like burnt sienna. I'm just going to colour our fence in, and what I'll do is I'll do this quickly off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we've got all that done, we're just going to start wetting it down slowly, a little bit at a time. You're probably going, yeah, but you haven't coloured in those flowers yet. It's because we're going to do it later. It'll be the last thing that we're going to be doing, so leave them as is for the minute. So what you want to do is just wet a paintbrush. Whoops. Don't go splattering everywhere. We don't need blodges on it. And just sort of get rid of any excess water. And what we're going to do is we're going to start at the bottom here and just very gently wet the sky area. Now, I'm not going to be using this paintbrush for the next bit. I'm going to use my 1/4 inch angle brush. It's going to be far easier. Now I'm not doing the birds yet. I actually want to do the bigger areas first, and then we're going to let it dry a little bit, and then we'll go in and do more of the details. So just wet your little heels. Gently brush over a little fence area. And then we'll just do the grass area, and then we'll just let it dry. It won't take too long, but it'll give me a chance to have a break too. So, you know, the one thing you got to remember is take breaks. Otherwise, you know, you get overtired and yeah. And then things don't work out the way you want them to, and then you end up making a mess, and yeah, no, we don't want that. Do we? Nah. No, we just want to relax, have fun, and make it a pleasant experience. That's what we want. It's so warm here today. It actually feels like it's summer. So it's actually drying super quick. There. Okay, so I'm just going to let this dry, and then I'll come back because I need some water. I need to drink water. I've got to be a good girl. So back in a second. Okay, so let's get stuck into it. Now, I'm going to do these little banners. Wet them down. Like so. And then we're going to do the water fountain. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the yellow first. And I'm literally just using the tip of the brush. Next, I'm going to do the balloon. Now, if you would notice, my paper is actually, my cardstock is warping, but I'm not too concerned about it, because what we're going to do is, when we put the card together, we're actually going to use some strong double-sided tape so that it sort of holds it down. Actually, there's something else I can do too. Just thought of that. Okay, so next I'm going to do the little birdie. Lucky last, we'll have to do the grey. Okay, so next what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to swap brushes, and I'm going to use this very fine round brush, and I'm going to grab some of this rose colour, and what we're going to do is we're just going to pick up some colour off the pencil, like so. Oop. And we're going to put that onto these little flowers. Actually, I might end up doing it more like, actually, yeah, we'll change the colour to purple, because that colour's not really coming out, so we'll just change it to more of a purple. Look at that, that's so much better. And basically all I'm doing is just dabbing. The olive green, and what we want is get some of that, and do some of these little leaves here, or yeah, I think they're leaves, so. There we go. Now, I'm done with that one. I don't want that one back. Alright, so now I'm going back to my angle brush, and I'm picking up some paint again off my pencil. And I'm just going to add some of that in here. What I want to do is I've got the grey here right now, and I'm going to load this brush with some of the grey. I'm going to add some sort of just around the bottom here, just to create a bit of a shadow, and the same where the birdies are, just to add a bit of a shadow, that's all. And what we're going to do is I'm going to add some in here as well. Grab a little tiny bit more. And I'm going to add a tiny bit of a shadow right underneath here, because it would be a lot darker. Like that. And make it darker underneath here. like so. Now that that's done, I'm going to grab my, what colour did we use? I think it was the medium yellow. I'm going to add some in here in a little strip. You probably can barely see it, just there. Here we go. And I think that will do it. So, move all these out of the way. Okay, so, next what we want to do is stick this onto our cardstock. I'll put some down here as well. I have a habit, I like to make sure things are literally super glued down. So, because I like to make sure that, you know, the card's going to last longer than 5 minutes, basically. Okay, so what we're going to do is lay this down pretty much in the center, more or less. Like so. And with this bit of cardstock, because we used the water on it, now where did it go? Where did you go? Didn't I have you just a second ago? There it is. Knew I had it a second ago. What we want to do is put some of this double-sided tape down, because this is stronger, so we can make sure that it goes on really, really nicely and that it stays. Okay, and basically you just go all the way around. And we'll probably put one in the middle as well. And have I got my head in the way? Trying not to. I'm trying not to. I promise. I'm very trying. Ask my husband. I'm always trying. But I also succeed, so there you go. It's always good to try, because, yeah, we do succeed. Okay, about that. Like so. And I might put a couple in the middle. So we'll go one over that side. And one on that side. There we go. And then we use our magic tool and take the backing off. Just like that. And I tell you what, this double-sided tape is super strong. Almost makes me think it's got super glue in it. It sticks like it, even to your fingers. So, anyway. Okay, do not stick it upside down. Okay, so here we go. About there. There we go. Now, as you can see, it's not buckling because we made sure that. And there you have it. A cute birthday card for a child. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up because that'll really help me out, because YouTube likes that people, you know, like videos, because by them knowing that you're liking my video, it kind of makes YouTube get my videos out a lot more. So, you know, and if you guys can help me in that way, I'll be so appreciative. I will love you guys even more. And also, if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the bell notification if you would like to see more videos like this. And make sure you check out my other card making tutorials. So, and next week, I've got a special card that I'm going to make. It's going to be, and just to pre-warn you, it's going to be a long video. But yeah, it's going to be very special. So I'm leaving it at that because I can't say much more. And I will catch you guys next week, same time. Be sure to have an awesome weekend and an awesome week. Bye.